Today I'm back here at Gettle Toyota of Charlotte County, Florida, checking out this brand new 2023 Toyota Corolla Cross. Now this is the XLE model, which is the top of the line trim, and I'm going to take you on a complete tour of this vehicle, checking out the exterior, interior, engine, and the test drive to see if it has what it takes to compete in this very busy and interesting subcompact SUV segment. Now, if that's something that interests you, go ahead, check out the rest on my channel. My name is Matt, and I post 2 car reviews every single week. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and now let's get back to this. You might have a hard time choosing the subcompact SUV because there's so many choices. Starting with the Japanese segment, you have the Toyota Corolla Cross, Honda HR-V, then you have the Mazda CX, Nissan Kicks, and then going into the Koreans, which Kia has 3 of them, the Soul, Niro, and Seltos, as well as Hyundai's got both Kona and Venue, and then going into the domestic market with Chevy just redesigning their trucks as well as the Buick equivalent Encore of it. Now you have the Dodge Hornet that just entered the market, so plenty of choices for you to decide on. And let's see what Toyota has to offer. Starting with the design, it doesn't look bad. It looks very plain, but not bad at all. It's got the nice flat hood, 2 raises right on the side of it, big headlights. You have top of them, they have the LED daytime running lights with the turn signals and the projection beam right here. Then you have the set of fog lights right here in the bottom, and overall it's very nicely designed. The grille of it is just the right size in my opinion, and it is painted in this gunpowder metallic paint, big Toyota logo, and you have the polished aluminum trim around it. All of this is matte black, and then you have the same color as the rest of the vehicle, which in this case is the Barcelona red metallic. No air curtains on the side, but it's nicely profiled, giving that a more polished and elegant look. Now, all of the Corolla Crosses, non-hybrids, are powered by the same engine. But let's pop the hood and see what it is. Underneath the hood of the 2023 Corolla Cross, you'll find a 2-liter 4-cylinder naturally aspirated engine. It produces 169 horsepower and 150 foot-pounds of torque. It is also mated to a CVT transmission, so not very impressive on paper, but we'll give it a try when I take it on the test drive later on in this video. You also have a prop stick on the side and then some sound insulation underneath the hood. And let's check it out on the side here. I actually like the side profile on it. It's nice, it's polished. It's not very sporty, but that's not a sporty vehicle considering the type of the engine and the performance that it gets. But it's definitely bigger than the Toyota Corolla hatchback. So if you need more room and if you need more cargo space, this might be a perfect vehicle for you. Now, let's take a look at the wheels and tires. So you have the 18-inch wheel standard on that XLE trim. 225 by 55 is the tire size. You of course have this matte black cladding that Toyota seems to love on a lot of their vehicle that continues basically around the entire vehicle. Now, as far as the surroundings of the windows right here, you have this chrome trim that actually continues towards the back, and it does have the Corolla Cross embossed in here. The bottom of it is all blacked out. You have the turn signals in the mirrors as well as the blind spot assist, and these are heated mirrors. Smart entry system with a push button start, so there's a lot of fancy technology that you get on this SUV. Now you have the low profile roof rails that are in black color, and it looks like it does have some room on the inside. But before we jump inside the passenger cabin right here, let's go around and let's check out the roominess in the back. Here in the back, it looks pretty good as well. It does have the gate spoiler, but there's no third brake light in the spoiler itself. It's actually hidden behind the glass, but you do have this sprayer for the rear window here, exposed wiper, very nice and large lights. This is combination lights right here. You have the LEDs and the incandescent as far as the reverse light. It's also interesting right here on the side, you have the Corolla Cross that's in the light. You've seen that in the front as well. Then you have the rear view camera, Corolla Cross on one side, XLE on the other side. Some matte black trim with the reflector lights and the parking sensors in the back, and you have this Barcelona red right here at the bottom as well. While there are no special exhaust tips on this vehicle, you can see the muffler hanging back from there. Now this vehicle comes equipped with actually the power gate, so you can open it up several different ways. One of the ways is, of course, to hit the button on the remote, but you can also do it from the gate itself or from inside of the vehicle. Well, let's check out how much room we have inside. Gate is open. Let's check it out. Of course, you have the button to close it and lock it right here, but that's the reason why people should choose this over the hatchback sometimes. You have 23 cubic feet of cargo space behind the seat, and that's quite a lot, to be honest with you. You can fit several good size suitcases, probably about 10 of the carry-ons here. I think that's how much would fit. Let's see if there's anything underneath the floor. And yes, we do have the spare tire alongside with the jack to lift up this vehicle and remove the tire with the tools provided. Now you have the cargo cover that extends all the way to the back, and if you do want to make a little bit more room to carry some of the larger objects, you can actually see I'm doing it one-handed. Fold down the seats, remove the cargo cover, and this is how much room you're gonna have. So quite a bit. This is nice utility portion of this vehicle. Well, let's see what we have for passengers. Well, let's talk about the roominess right here in the back. I'm 6 feet tall. This front seat is adjusted to my regular driving position. I have my knees on top of the back of the seat, so I'm definitely touching. I have about 2 inches of headroom and fairly good as far as the shoulder room. So I wish that this somehow would be extended and give you a little bit more roominess. But other than that, I mean, if you're only having kids in the back or people of smaller postures, this is not bad. Well, let's take a quick look at the interior here. Well, let's start with the rear door panel right here, and it's all very monotone. It's all black in this case, and has a lot of the hard plastic materials, with the only padded surface right here is this back portion of the armrest. You also have your door handle, of course, and the window controls cup holder right here, and then the speaker down at the bottom. But if you look inside this vehicle, you'll find the seats are covered in their Toyota man-made leather, the Syntax, I believe what they call it, and they're nice and solid. You also have the armrest right in here with the cup holders that folds down, and in the back you have your own vents, which is a big deal. You also have your 2 USB Type-C ports at the bottom and a very small bump in the floor. And also the passenger seat has the seat back pockets, but driver does not. And as always, let's check out the quality by listening to the sound of the closing door. That's actually decent, not bad at all. Let's see what we have on the front door panel. And here again, you have pretty much all black, but you do have a little bit of this polished aluminum trim right here. You have the window mirror controls, of course, the door handle, and a little bit of storage down below. Let's see, as far as the hard plastic, this is hard plastic, but this is softer. Can't understand why they couldn't put that in the rear as well. Now you have the power adjustment on the driver seat. I want to check out if the passenger has it. And the seats, again, they're nice and comfortable. Actually, they're not huge, but they're comfortable. And see, power adjustments on here, no manual adjustment on the passenger seat, so only the driver will get you the power adjustment. Let me jump inside, I'll show you the rest of it. And here we are in the interior of this 2023 Toyota Corolla Cross XLE. It actually looks decent. Again, this is not something that you'll remember, 5 years from now, but it looks good, right? So let's see as far as the setup over here. So you have this multi-tier dashboard, a little bit of polished aluminum and piano black right here. This is a different fabric that is over here, even though this is hard plastic. This is more of that softer material. You have the bands on the side and in the middle, an 8-inch screen. As you can see, I have the Android Auto connected to it, and then you have the digital screen right in the middle here. That's the 7-inch screen. We actually have seen that in the new base Grand Highlander, very similar setup. I do like the steering wheel. I think it's the right size, it's the right width, it's the right thickness, so it feels good in your hand. We'll see how it actually performs. Now you have a bunch of buttons on the left hand side. This is what's going on in the instrument cluster with the back button, phone button, volume button, and the voice control. And on the right hand side you do have the adaptive cruise control, regular cruise control, settings mode, and seek and track. That is for your media, of course. Now let's take a look what's going on in the instrument cluster here. And I have this screen on purpose because you do have this Toyota sensing system that includes a whole lot of safety features on it. That includes the lane departure alert system, blind spot monitoring, pre-collision parking sensors, then rear cross traffic alert. And then you have the sign recognitions, the parking sensors in the back, and you have the save exit assist as well. And then you can customize all of that, whether you want to turn it on or off. You have the meter settings and the vehicle settings that you can customize here as well. Let's see what else we have in this instrument cluster. So you have your media, adaptive cruise control mode, eco indicator, and we scroll back through that, and messages, and that's what you have. So in the instrument cluster itself, you can see you have the speedometer and tachometer. The speedometer is the digital display in the middle right there, and then on the sides you have the fuel gauge on the right hand side and the temperature gauge on the left hand side. Of course, you have the temperature and time displayed in here as well, and you have the distance to empty, and we see that the vehicle's got 15 miles on it. Now this is probably a good time to talk about the gas mileage. It's 31 in the city, 33 on the expressway. 33 is the combined number, which quite frankly I was hoping for it to be a little bit better. But let's move on to the middle infotainment system. Now I hate the bezel. I haven't changed my opinion about it, but Toyota's been using that for a long time. A lot of people got used to that. You've seen it on some of the RAV4s. They're slowly switching it to this new infotainment system, which the software is already here, but the hardware is still a little bit different. Now I have the Android Auto, and this is connected wirelessly here, which is a great feature in my opinion. And let's go to the Toyota screen. So you have the navigation, which you have to subscribe to if you wanted to, and it is a cloud-based navigation, which, by the way, just remember that won't work if you lose your signal. It's kind of like having navigation on your phone. You have your media, so let's enable audio, and hopefully it's not going to blast really loud. Okay, so you have the FM, AM, Sirius XM as far as the different sources that are available. My phone is connected in here, and then you have the vehicle trip information, vehicle alert, and then as far as the settings, you have some personalization that you can do with this as far as the sound media, vehicle customize, notifications, Bluetooth devices, etc. So I mean, this is pretty much the same as we've seen on the other Toyotas. I like that they left the volume and power knob right here, and then scrolling down you have the hazard lights. Now this is the vehicle data transmission on by default, so you have to call Toyota if you want them to stop tracking you. And then you have the dual zone climate control. This is the electronic climate control, which is available on this XLE, and this is actually nice. You have the regular knobs to change the temperature, and of course a bunch of shortcut buttons. So this is actually a nice feature as well. Then down here at the bottom, the XLE comes standard with the heated seat, and then you have the USB Type-C, and you do have the wireless charger. Again, the shifter is regular shifter, right? There's no push button. Let's put it in reverse, and let's see how the rear view camera looks. All right, so not bad. as far as the quality wise, and it takes up the majority of the screen, which in this case is good. But if you had this bigger 12-inch screen, it would still be a small window like this. As far as the trajectory lines, Toyota gives you the option to either turn them off or change them to 3 or 4 different settings. They are active if you have these on, so you can see your projected path, and then you have 2 different angles as far as the camera wide angle and narrow angle. Back here in front of this gear shifter, you have the automatic engine on and off. You can turn off your traction control. You also have the electronic parking brake hold, 2 cup holders, decent size. Okay, they also fit some other stuff. You have some piano black and the polished aluminum trim, kind of to break that up a little bit, and a very tiny storage compartment here, but that also includes your 12-volt power outlet and the USB Type-C port, and you can throw like a grocery bag in here if you wanted to. Now, nothing too crazy about the mirror over here. There's only one button, that's the power button to kind of dim it if somebody's blinding you, but no home link system. Right on top you have your light control, then of course you have your SOS button, and then you have your sunroof control. By the way, this one has the regular sunroof, which if you like that kind of thing, that is standard on this vehicle. And they have the illuminated mirrors on driver and passenger side. This vehicle looks decent on the inside. Let's take it for a spin and see how it drives. Well, I'm here on Toyota's website checking out which trim levels are available for 2023 model year. So it starts with the L at 23,610, LE at 25,940, and the XLE that I'm sitting in right now at 27,715. Now, this particular vehicle, the only thing it has added to is the moonroof package, besides the stuff that was added at the distribution point, and the total MSRP 28,965. That's including the destination charge. Now, Toyota also introduced the hybrid vehicles for 2023, and they're available in the Hybrid S, starting at 27,970, SC at 29,290, XSE, which is the sporty one, at 31,065. And now, as far as the engine choices, now you have the regular one, which of course the 2-liter engine here, and then the hybrid is available with the 2-liter 4-cylinder engine, but with the hybrid system, it boosts out the power to 196 horsepower, so about 30 horsepower more. Now, I haven't driven the hybrid yet. I've only driven this around this parking lot, so let's take it on the road and see how it accelerates and what the driving dynamics are. We're going to start with checking out the turning radius on this vehicle. I'll find the spot right here in this empty parking lot. Steering wheel all the way to the left. We have a very tight, it definitely feels like a Corolla when you get inside of it, but you of course sit up higher. And let's take this, let's do little twists and turns in here. Definitely softer than I would say on like the HRV, so more of a Toyota like than the Honda like, which, you know, understandable, right? We're sitting in a Toyota. And let's do a off the line acceleration here. Okay, so, well, on paper, this is about 9.2 seconds, which is definitely below average. My question is it enough to let you merge in the traffic? Because that's really what you want out of the vehicle like this. Yeah, I don't really care about the 0 to 60 as long as I can merge in traffic. We're going to try to check that out for you. But definitely a sluggish acceleration, and the engine noise, it's substantial, so you can definitely hear that 2.0 liter engine, you know, on the inside once you rev it up. Yeah, let's see how the suspension absorbs the speed bumps here. Okay, it's not bad. Definitely feeling. Well, without revving it up as it drives normally, it's pretty quiet cabin. on the inside. And hardly hear any noises coming out from the outside. There's definitely no tire noise coming inside the cabin, but I have a feeling once we get it on the road that might change a bit. Well, let's stop right here, guys, really quick. Let's check out this acceleration. I got 0. Let's go. Definitely noisy, and we just got it up to about 55 miles per hour, so that might be a concern, you know, merging into traffic where, you know, everybody's going on the main road at the very quick pace, but then again, this is not something that's undoable. Now you got to keep in mind that a lot of vehicles got a lot faster right now, and it used to be that the rev force would probably be about 10-11 seconds. Now they're, you know, Corolla Cross is at 9 seconds, and everybody's complaining about it, but we got to move on with the time. So I kind of wish that this acceleration was a little bit better, and the engine noise was a little bit more subdued in here, so you can definitely hear that engine noise while driving. Well, hopefully hybrid is going to fix all of that. I can't wait to take one for a spin, but this one is a little bit underwhelming, especially where you have the competitors having the more powerful, or at least the more powerful engine options, like with the Mazda CX-30 you have that turbocharged engine available, not to mention the Kona N, you know, with the performance version of this subcompact SUV. Now I'm glad that Toyota brought in the hybrid too, so that could save a little bit of the problem, because it shaves about 2 seconds from that 0 to 60, at least on paper it does, and, you know, gets you a little bit better gas mileage, because this one, you know, at 32 miles per gallon, which would be great if it was a larger SUV, it's just about average for a subcompact one. Overall, the drive is not bad. I mean, you have a nice visibility, decent size mirrors, big windshield, and, you know, if you have the nicely adjusted mirror right here, you can see what's going on in the back. Of course, if you had somebody sitting in the back, that's not exclusive to this vehicle, but that's also going to give you some hard time. But even turning around, you have some of the windows over there, so that reduces that blind spot. And of course, you have the blind spot assist in the mirrors, so it does have a lot of safety feature. It definitely has some things going for it. You know, here's a couple things. I think the design is just there, right? I mean, it's not something that you're gonna point out at the street and go like, wow, it's a Toyota Corolla Cross, right? But it is nice, right? The same thing with the interior. I like that they upgraded some of the technology in it. I still would get rid of this bezel, but the software is a lot better than what it used to be before. And then, you know, as far as the acceleration, that's definitely underwhelming on here. So, I mean, while I like that this is a Toyota and it should be a very nice, reliable vehicle, last you for years, don't expect any thrills with that vehicle. With that said, guys, thank you very much for watching. I hope that this was helpful, and I hope you learned one thing. And if you like watching videos like this, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.